coverage is an issue. It's part of SNIT's problem. I'll come back to you and start with you, Mashud. How bad is that problem? Coverage, the number of people involved versus those who actually should be contributing.
Okay, so social security coverage is a very important assessment indicator when we're talking about effectiveness or really looking at the efficiency of the social security system. There have been significant disparities in coverage along the lines of tiers, along the lines of gender, and along the lines of sector of work. We are talking about informal, formal sector. We are talking about private, public sector. And let me pick it one by one. Of course, in my first submission, I did indicate that 81% of employers who are employed between 1 to 30 are not paying social security contribution. Even though it's mandatory, they are not paying social security contribution under the tier 2, creating huge disparity between tier 1 and tier 2 as far as coverage is concerned. Now, when we are talking about gender, you have 38%, even though we have more women in Ghana than men, you have the contributive population made up of just 38% against 62%. 62% men and 38%. And that translates into the pensioner population. When it comes to the pensioner population, you have 32% women and 68% men. That clearly tells you that we have left our women behind. And that is a major...
It also tells you that quite a chunk of the deficit actually is
It has to do with the women, because most of our women are found in the informal sector, and that is what brings me to the next point. We have disparity along the lines of formal and informal sector, and I'm very excited about the SNIT initiative to venture into the informal sector. I think that what they need to do is that they need to really focus on women, because we have more women in the informal sector. And so it's creating a lot of disparity. Again, if you take a look at Ghana Statistical Service data, what we are finding is that even within the formal sector, we are finding that about 26% of those who work in the formal sector, mostly in private establishment, are not covered by the basic national social security system, let alone tier 2. So coverage is a very big issue, and I'm saying we have significant disparities along the lines of tiers, tier 1, tier 2 disparities, gender, and sector of work. We are talking about private, public, and we are talking about informal and formal. And I need to emphasize the point that when we're talking about coverage, it's a very important assessment indicator when we are assessing public social security systems.
Right.